the A side, but I'm guessing the knife round has already been done, and we are straight into the pistol.
Indeed, the CTs will try and counter the A play. 4 players on the outside. Jen pushes out. Cindy with the kill. Jen goes down to Tati. It's a straight out brawl out here. 3v2 now in favor of the Terrorists with DSH on 11 HP. But we haven't seen that push be that effective. EYESports went all out on that one, or all in rather. And, well, you could almost call it all out because they ran out. And all of them went out.
They did the exact same strategy yesterday. That's a secret. But the thing that happened last time was the fact that the T's actually went to B. So they had to wrap all the way around. So in this scenario, I think they were expecting a similar sort of outcome and just ran straight head first into some pistols. And obviously now they're into a hard position. Candy now going to be the last one left. We did see her do pretty damn well in the last pistol round to start off the game, but already we see Reason on the T side.
Ooh, a really exposed plan by Tati. She re-angles a few times, but she's still exposed to Candy. She pushes in, but now she's going to be flanked and completely surrounded with Terrorists. Reason win the pistol round, and that's what they needed to get themselves kicking.
Yeah, a much better start already. Like we saw them on the T side of the last map, only managed 2 rounds total. We should be seeing more than that already. A buy coming in, an interesting buy coming in from the CT side, as we see a couple of deagles opposed to those, well, the pistols with the spam ability, I like to call it. But here we go. We do have the couple of 5.7s with them, 1 flashbang in play, and, well, it's actually a stack over towards the A side, and I think anything more than 2 players can be considered a stack over towards that side, but they have 4, leaving 1 player and 1 player alone. And a pretty horrific standpoint to be in. But we'll actually find 1, so that's the least that was expected there. And Ailey going to come in with another lovely 1 league, so they've actually brought this into a position where it may be possible, but Candy, of course, saving. Not going to have too much to play with here.
Yeah, maybe. Well, dealing some damage at the early stages is quite good for the CTs as well, even though the Terrorist economy is a little easier to handle and they run into some real trouble here. Jen with a 5.7 against DSH on the MP7, but 25 only for the Terrorist. She has to play the time right now, but she goes for the duel, and she just picks it up. 3 kills for her. Ballsy play to go for that encounter.
I saw the camera switch, and I
thought
she
me
died.
Too.
I was so confused by that, but yeah, it is DSH to just about get away with that one, and a very, very close encounter round. Obviously, every single kill they gets them about $300 added into the bank. So obviously that could be an extra smoke, possibly even get Candy closer to an extra bit of armor with that AWP. So it is very valuable every kill you get. You can't deny that. And well, here we go, aggressive push coming into that B site.
Yeah, this time around the CTs are way weaker, so they should have an easy time winning this one. Tati hosing them down. Well, actually, that was only 1 frag for her. Riley stepped in and robbed all the rest away. Ailey going through the smoke and down to Tati, and Antika is on the board as well, 3-0. So Reason win the mandatory rounds, even though they had some trouble in the second one. It's going to be okay for them.
Yeah, their money's not going to be too poor after they win that one relatively cleanly. Of course, Riley will have to buy back up, and their money isn't booming. They're not on any sort of insane number as of yet. Of course, we are see DSH yet to die, so that's obviously a great start for her, someone we highlighted before the match. But Candy now onto that AWP, and that's going to be a big thing here to see what she can actually do with this AWP. It looks like she has gone over to the chicken hut position, so whether she can find the early frag will be something that we have to notice, but it's nice. Antika, who goes aggressive, actually going to get all the way into Chicken Hut, and they're not even trading it out. She's managed to get herself 2, and this is not a good start for the CT side. The bomb, however, is in an absolutely horrific position. It is boosted up. They can't even get it back.
God.
How on earth has that happened? This is now 2 versus 2, but luckily for them, Riley and DSH are still stepping up, finding these frags, but look at that bomb.
Do the CTs know that? That's the question. Does Party know how unreachable the bomb is, that if she makes it a 1v1, she has already won the round? Because now, let's see. You know the Detective Gadget? He could reach the bomb on his own, but nobody else. Oh, she gets a kill onto DSH. Oh, but quick reaction by Riley, aborting the bomb plan and then going for the kill. What a round. 4-0 in favor of Reason. And really, I have criticized that a lot in the past already. For example, I mean, the bomb flying around randomly, having physics. If you die, the bomb should just spawn where your feet were. If you've been in the air, it should fall down right away, where you stand, where you stood. There is no reason for a bomb to fall from, let's say, dust to A short into CT spawn. What? Come on. And that was just a prime example on how it could have destroyed the round for Reason.
And now we see a force buy coming in for EYESports. It's not a particularly good one. Candy actually going with the XM, and that means that she's going to have to pretty much go for those headshots, try and do what she can. Party will manage to find a kill. Antika will quickly trade, and a lot of damage now being done as every single kill is cleaned up. A very nice round again coming in from the T side, and they've started things off very, very well. A complete contrast. But you can also say that this is sort of a continuation of how they ended the map.
Yeah, they just, I don't know, maybe we see a mirror game, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well they did, they were on a fight back, winning 8 rounds in a row before the one loss came in. Of course, Pistols now in again for EYESports, but Cindy is still going to find a frag. The problem is these like minor rounds where they're finding little bits of damage aren't actually too valuable to them, because the T's, they're still building up cash. Will not be another kill. Tati going to survive with 15 HP, allowing now her teammates to go a little bit more aggressive. And they are just using their nades to clean up positions, but Jen is going to find one back. A lovely tap there from Antika to open this site up. And while AD may have found herself a rifle, but she still has 3 heads to find.
Yeah, she doesn't have armor, so the aim punch is going to be pretty worrisome for her as well, and she's about to walk into crossfire. There goes the first aim punch, shaves off the majority of HP already, and Riley will finish the job. So the 6th round for Reason, but it has been, and yeah, who is that even? Was that? I thought it was Scream at the start, but I think it wasn't. I think it was something else.
I thought it might be the Reason lineup. I don't know. Either way, we are back into the round. Have some Reason supporters out there, and they're going to be pretty happy with how they've started this one. However, double AWP will be coming in. Candy and Cindy now on the AWPs. And again, we have seen some pretty quiet performances from both of them so far, and that's sort of to their detriment. They need to step up. They need to make these big plays. Otherwise, they will be falling apart once again. But here comes that push onto the B side. 80 going to be here. Can use the stairs to find information, but smokes, nade, Molotovs are going to be thrown out.
Yeah, Candy is on the B bomb side with the AWP, and Cindy alone at A. Reason Game is sticking to the B bomb side. That's what I kind of like, because they are yet to lose a round, and the CTs are yet to figure that out. At the same time, they could have acted prematurely and just preemptively went for the A bomb side to avoid the CTs being able to react to themselves. Now Reason is trying to feel out drop zone, and that is working quite nicely. The 2 frags for them over there. The B bomb site stack is going to be disposed of, but Candy with the kill comes back for the CTs. DSH will kill Ailey. The CTs will still not rotate. Cindy is still at the A bomb site, and it's a 3v1. She's got an AWP with her. She might want to save in this situation, but maybe she has read the book of the Heaven. The Team Heaven strat book. Yeah,
the we don't save for anything strategy, which well, it kind of proved why they lost both of the maps yesterday, 16-14. It was just quite questionable in their decisions sometimes, but they are, of course, one of the best teams in this tournament, although every single team has had their moments, it has to be said. It looks like we are going to see another round, of course, on the board for Reason. The AWP will mean that they can go for some sort of buy in the next round. The only problem is, at this point, it might be a good idea to just call in the pause now. You don't want to let the half get too out of control. Obviously, we're not even halfway through it yet. We're getting close. And you need to start getting some rounds on the board. And a lot of these rounds, they haven't been particularly close. In fact, the pistol rounds have probably been closer than the actual buy rounds.
Yeah, Reason Game is just shutting them down completely. The CTs having massive problems figuring something out, and I would just go for, well, they tried drop zone with 2 players in the previous round. It failed. They had 4 players on the B bomb side. It failed. What are you really supposed to do right now? They have to switch and change something, but they have tried so many different setups already. The only thing they can hope for is somebody to step up and get a miracle double or triple kill and give them something to work with at the start of the round especially. Now Reason Gaming is back on the B bomb set. There's no reason to change it. Haha, the pun was obviously not meant to be a pun. And you see they are holding the backside as well. They already expect the CTs to go for some aggression. And ironically, it works out. Party drops the bomb carrier, and that will definitely slow down the terrorist push. And she's already going for the backstab as well, while Antika has some trouble opening up the B bomb site. Jen with a kill onto Bloody Elf, making it a 4v3. The terrorist on the rotation, but Party's still around. She picks off Tati. That's a 2v4 right now. The bomb dropped in the hands of the CTs, and they are quick to rotate Jen around as well. It's on that positioning by Party.
Yeah, she's fallen all the way back just to allow to see if anybody's going to come in from behind. However, DS does sort of expect this one, but oh no, here comes the peek, and she's going to almost get the second. Go back with the pistol. Unless she gets headshotted, it's all but over. Lovely round from Party, but it's still a bit of a scary factor. The thing that an individual play had to make that much of a difference for them to actually win one round. And the worst thing here is, it doesn't even really need to be said, but if they lose the next, they're going to be reset.
Indeed, and the thing is, you can't really expect an individual performance like that in every single round. So it's time for them to make something work together. And Reason knows, well, we lost the round because of one player, so there is no use for us to change it up. We can stick to our game plan and just keep abusing the B-bomb site. This time around, the CTs have countered a little more correctly because they have some more equipment. And Incinerenade is keeping the terrorists at the platform. The CTs repel that first push, and now it's Reason's time to figure something out themselves.
Well, the other thing was with the last round is they didn't actually push the bomb towards the B side. They left it in the middle, and that ended up screwing them over in the end. It was more of a quick rotation, but you normally leave the bomb somewhere a little bit safer so that if it does get dropped, you're able to sort of retrieve it easily, or you just leave it on the floor so that you know where it is and the CTs don't. But that sort of has seemed to throw them off a little bit. They go for a fast, aggressive play, but as you said, there are nades available. The only problem is now they have been exhausted, and we only have 3 flashbangs as the only utility left. So the T's, although they may be down a player, they definitely have more in their hands of the players that are left alive. And well, they're going to go for drop again. It works out once more. They're just not very good at holding that drop position, and maybe holding it from inside is not the best scenario. We see Taz, probably one of the best drop-down players at the moment. He plays it from outside in the window, but here's Candy missing quite a few shots here. We'll go back with a pistol, and it's actually quite surprising. It's happened again where Candy clearly isn't feeling confident on the AWP, so Cindy will take it off of her, but there you go. She finds a frag, and now we're back to a 2 versus 2.
It goes back and forth. At first, it seemed like the CTs have it in the back. Now it looks like the terrorists have it in the back, but Ailey is still around against the 2 terrorists. Tati with a good crossfire, and DSH takes her off as Ailey was focused on Tati at the slope. Reason Gaming with the 8th round on the with the 8th round on the board. EYESports unable to string those 2 rounds together, so they will go for that force buy. Only 2 rifles. Is there anything dropped on the floor? No. It's Ailey on the Deagle and Canyon on the 5.7. But what surprised me is the resilience of Reason Gaming. Their initial strategy didn't work out, and then they went for that really interesting push with drop zone split onto A. That was a really good mid-round call. Yeah,
the calls seem to be there on this map. Of course, it is a sort of different story. They have started on the favored side, and we're seeing that difference now. A nice position from Jen. Will get 2 kills. So that's a much better little bit of aggression. Almost ends up burning herself alive. But either way, it is the frag in favor of that CT side.
Yeah, maybe it's time to switch positions with one of the more healthy players. But speaking of that, the most healthy players is Candy with a 5.7, Cindy on the AWP, and she's not the right one. Then Candy is not going to change her position at all. She just takes down 2 terrorists, and Riley, the last one alive, gets disposed of by Ailey. So EYESports is right back. And now the terrorists will have some financial issues. They have 2,000 on Tati. They will have to drop for her. And after that, it's going to be, well, it's going to be a save or a forced buy.
Yeah, this is the real chance for EYESports to actually get themselves to, say, 5 or 6 rounds. If they can get to there, then I wouldn't really be too worried about them at all. But the main problem for me is it does seem that they give up way too quickly on Candy's ability to play the AWP, and then she falls into this sort of mentality where she can only find kills with the pistol. So they are back onto the double AWP this time, obviously saving a couple in the last round, but I just hope that she gets that confidence back, because she is one of the most entertaining players to watch, especially on the EYESports lineup, and when she is hitting those shots, it's really enjoyable. Unfortunately, as said, it seems like she has the confidence issues.
Yeah, and really unnecessarily quick as well. It's like she doesn't hit 2-3 shots and then she says, okay, no, I'm not feeling it anymore.
Yeah.
She is not resilient enough, in my opinion, even though sometimes some people are too resilient with the AWP and they just cling on to that. So, well, there is a downside to everything, I guess. Now they have enough money for 2 AWPs, but they already lost the first play, and the terrorists have switched it up. Finally, they're on the A-bomb side, figuring out that, well, it's going to be too easy to predict if we go to B again. Party is still right there on the side, while Ailey gets rid of Bloody Elf. The backstabber is taken down. Party spots the terrorist planting a bomb, and now the retake has to commence.
Yeah, the chances of this happening are pretty damn slim. I wonder if the remaining players should just opt to save, although that doesn't seem to be in their book. Just doesn't seem to happen at all. We are seeing a pause coming in now, but it is going into a point where there could actually be an eco in this round, and I'm not sure that this will be the best idea. Ailey, unless she can somehow go for a ninja defuse, the chance of them actually winning this round is pretty damn slim, and DSH has other ideas, and there's another player who has stepped up massively in this game, Antika as well, just rolling over players, and it doesn't seem like at the moment there's a weak spot in this T side, and unfortunately, unless we see a few more rounds coming in, I just don't feel like EYESports will be able to come back.
Yeah, and really quick rounds as well. They just warm out, they run there, they don't particularly prepare everything as thoroughly as we sometimes see it, but they know that, well, okay, we have the skill, we can go for the duels. We don't give a damn about what they might have done to us on train. We show them who's the boss on their map.
The other thing that has to be said about the sort of map picks at the moment is the fact that after the bans and after your opponent picks, they get a choice between 2 maps. So it could also be the fact that they're picking between the lesser of 2 evils. Like, if they don't particularly want to play either Cobble or Overpass, and they just go, okay, well, we were going to pick Train. It's sort of like yesterday when we were like, oh, it's almost definite that we'll see EYESports pick Mirage, and then their opponents pick Mirage, so they went, uh-oh, what do we do now? Okay, let's pick one of the last 2. So that's what I'm kind of thinking here, where maybe they thought, okay, we don't really want to play Overpass. Let's pick Cobble. And in fact, Reason, they picked Train, thinking they were the better team, lose it, and then they go on to Cobble another map which they like. It's almost plausible when you think about it logically, but that is a big problem, because obviously you get those bans. This is the second time we've seen them on Cobble and not been very convincing. Would it have been better to let one of the other maps go through the pool?
Or maybe it would have been even worse. That's for them to find out in the future. Now they have to work with what they got, which is P250s and Deagles, and you can see that there is not too much work put in by them. DSH with the easy spray down onto Jen. Cindy and Party come around from 2 different angles, but of course Reason know and are aware of all the different positions that the CTs could come in from. So it should be an easy 10-2. The next round, however, that's going to be the one that EYESports just talked about the most, and that's going to be the one that's also the most important, because Reason is going to be sitting at 10, and EYESports has to win all rounds.
Well, yeah, that's the main thing. If they lose this next round, then, well, they talk about maybe the other map would have been worse. I'm not sure how it could be if they lose the next 3. Like, yes, it's a T-sided map. I'd say maybe 9-6, 10-5 as a sort of average. But in terms of, like, going on to, like, 12, 13, 11, like, even 11 you can come back if you're incredibly good on the T-side, such as Na'Vi. Like, you say, oh, 4 rounds. I still believe they can do it. Most other teams, that's not really the case. Like, yeah, there are teams that can do it. I think Godsend are actually very good at that T side as well. Twist takes the XM and does things that will blow your mind, but it's still one of those maps where it gets much worse than this, and you're not only mentally you'll be a bit down, but also just like logically. Like, after a while, you feel, okay, Reason would probably take this, unless of course the reason they didn't pick this map is because they don't like the CT side incredibly. But I feel like that's so unlikely.
Yeah, me too. There is just so much theory about this, and it's really hard to really tell which maps they would have liked to play if they had a choice between the 7. Now, let's see what EYESports can do about this. They had to play as a drop zone, and Candy is holding on to the AWP, and she gets 2 frags over at the platform. She had support with Alien. Maybe that gives them, or gives her some more confidence back if she has a teammate around to help her out, because that is definitely giving you some remorse if you know, well, if I don't hit those shots, I have somebody else to step up for me. And now Ailey pushes forward. She gets rid of Riley. She spots the bomb as well. Tati with a reply onto Jen in drop zone, and the terrorists are trying to make that rotation happen, or keep the rotation from happening rather. But it's in the end Candy shutting them down. So EYESports with 3 rounds.
Yeah, and Tati, another player, has been stepping up in this series for sure. We didn't mention her too much in the start.
Yeah.
I do think she has had a nice map so far. Obviously, we are still talking about the fact that if it goes 10-5, I wouldn't say that this is out of the question for EYESports with a pistol, especially that they could get that back to 10-8, then they're on the favored side. Yeah, it's definitely doable. The problem is, well, we talk about the last game, they won both pistols and then won, what, was it 16-10?
Yeah,
it was 16-10.
It was 16-10.
So that you think you take away those 2 pistols, you have a different scenario. Obviously, it's a skill in itself winning the pistol, but at the same time, now they have lost the first pistol. If they lose the second pistol, I don't think it matters about the 2 rounds. That would just be too far gone. So a lot of important rounds are coming up for EYESports, but they've done a little bit of early damage. Not anything to, well, blow your mind, but we'll see whether or not they can do it with the limited utility they have.
Yeah, the terrorists are grinding the B bomb site. They know they have put in so much work on B. They kind of build up that image. I almost always use the analogy with a poker player that always goes for bluffs or something, and then suddenly he has a good hand and everyone falls for it, or the other way around. He plays crappy hands and suddenly he has a good one and everyone thought, oh, this guy is really bad at poker, and then he wins the whole table. So Reason Gaming trying to use their image to force the CTs to support the B-bomb set, and in fact they go for a Parties at the truck. She gets 2 frags though, and that is really unexpected, but Antika takes her down. A 2v2 evolves.
And this is both players pushing in from the same angle. It may not be expected. The likelihood is small, but that pot shot was completely unnecessary, and a nice headshot coming out from DSH in the end to close out the round. So another round on the board. We see 11 come up the last round. Well, 11-4 and a pistol. It's possible. 12-3. I think they're done. I think it's just too far gone. We saw it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened last time, isn't it? Versus Secret. It was a 12-3. They won the pistol, got back to 6, and then I think they ended up on 8.
And then it was over, yeah.
And they lost the game. So it's not enough, and that's the real problem there. It's starting on that weaker side. Clearly, if they get off on the good side and they start rolling, we saw it on Train, it really did work for them, but that is crazy how much of the knife round seems to be making an impact. But at least this time, Party will start things off. Obviously, their buy is still very weak, and the push is looking like it's going to edge towards Candy.
Yeah, they might think about picking up the gun really soon. Both rifles, however, are on the wrong bomb site. It's just pistols on the B bomb site. Ailey with a deagle putting in some good work. Jen with a 5-7 headshot onto Tati. Bloody Elf goes down. That's Ailey putting it up. The CTs in a 4v1 despite the fact their buy was so low and so weak. Antika is the last hope for the terrorists now. She's smoking off the backstab. She's getting shot at from every single direction. Oh, and I was about to say, but Jen and Party were so low, it would have been possible for her. But she was down to 4 herself.
Yeah, head ripped off, 11-4. It's not the worst scenario in the world. As said, there are top T-sided teams that can pull things back. We saw them have an incredible CT half of Train, so we know that they can string rounds together. However, I feel like their CT sides of a lot of the maps they played have been better. We will just have to wait and see whether or not they can actually pull this one back. Of course, we saw them do well on Mirage as well against Secret. We know that they have those players that can open up rounds. The only thing is, will Candy be living up to the name that she has created herself? Will Cindy be firing on all cylinders? And will they just have the enough sort of depth in a way to actually win it? And, well, we all know where this starts. It starts with a pistol. And I don't know what it is about Reason Gaming. They have the most obscure pistol round buys I've ever seen.
Yeah, no armor again, and going for the grenades.
And CZs.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, the CZs aren't that big of a problem, in my opinion. If you use them correctly, they can do a lot of damage, but you have to get close, and that's where the Glock excels. So it's kind of playing right in the hand of your opponent. DSH punishes us and makes us look very stupid with her 2 frags already. And there goes a 3rd one, and a 4th, and now it's only Candy. The bomb has been planted, but she's going to be pushed by everyone. And they will, no matter what, they will win this round. Candy is running out of bullets, and there she goes. She denies the ace to DSH, but I think have all reason to be happy here.
The only thing I have to mention, I'm not a fan of a lot of upgraded pistols in the pistol round, like the CZ especially. Like the main reason you have a CZ in buy rounds is because it's very easy to hit the headshots. But obviously a headshot with any pistol is a kill pretty much, except maybe the Glock and P250 are really long range. Yeah. Then the Deagle, anybody who buys a Deagle in the pistol round drives me absolutely nuts, because the whole reason you buy that weapon is to
get headshots.
Get headshots against armor.
Yeah.
Obviously it doesn't matter in these circumstances. So obviously I suppose if it's Nico I can kind of understand, because he is basically the god of the Deagle, but other than that, I'm not a big fan of it. But we'll see what they can actually do with the pistols here. It is going to be the Tech 9s, which nobody can deny are very impressive. And it's going to be that drop-down push, which we have spoken about many a time. And already Ailey finds the first frag. They do have a decision here whether they're going to split towards A or B. And it looks like A may be the decision here. But there's still 2 players actually quite far down. And they could get a flank in here. This could be absolutely perfect. Players pushing up. We already see Riley coming in from behind to try and make this spray work. And actually finds the first frag after the initial engagement, with Tati finding a second. Yeah,
the CT's holding back at the A bombs. A really sturdy play by them, even though Candy just gets in the face of Riley. And Terra's in a 3v3 party with a good position. That DSH gets really surprised. Oh, another one for Party. That was a little clumsy by Tati there. And Tika with a 1v2 now as she takes down Candy. She's got the smoke to work with. And Party's down to 14 HP, so Jen is really close with the Tech 9. She's going to be key. Oh, and Tika, that is her gone. EYESports win the 2nd round.
Yeah, well, that shows you the power of the Tech 9 buy, going aggressive 4 players into the drop-down position and ended up with a little bit of a flank coming in. It was a little bit down to timing that they managed to get away with that one, but a very close round, and has given them a bit of a lifeline here. Obviously, they have to win a lot of rounds in a row. 11 would be to win, and obviously only 4 needed for the Reason Gaming side. So they are actually going to go straight for an eco here, and Tika actually buying up a Zeus, which doesn't earn her any cash, but can obviously remove a lot of cash from the opposition side via electricity. And there you go, she will actually find the Zeus kill. Riley in a decent position, actually will find one. Looking for a second, it won't happen, but they're doing a lot of damage here, and Tati actually going to find one more. So already with just pistols and a Zeus, no armor, no nades, they've managed to do damage worth of 3 players, and you can already see Tati, she's managed to grab herself an AK. The decision to go for this, I'm not so sure. I feel like saving the weapon could be far more valuable, especially against 2 players, and it looks like that's going to be the decision from her. So a decent round coming out from Reason. Of course, they've got plenty of rounds to play with, not going to be stressing just yet, as they are still with a 6-round lead.
Indeed, and well, she reconsidered after reconsidering. Changing her mind twice and then throwing the AK away. So that was... Well, the AK could have had an impact, but at the same time, if she had saved the AK, they would have been a little pushed to go for some armor as well. But if only she would have bought armor, they could have done some decent damage with that AK.
Yeah, I don't really agree with the decision to go for that, especially after running all the way around the map when there was no real chance of defusing the bomb.
Yeah.
It does mean they're going to go for another eco round, and the buy that they come in with in the next is going to have to pay some dividends, otherwise it will not be worthwhile. Of course, still 4 rifles onto that T side, and they don't really want to lose too many players here, because that's been the detriment to them. They're not going to be able to have too much going, almost getting 2, but instead ending up with nothing as Jen fires away and finds the 2 frags to open up the site. We are seeing close up and personal. The CZ is going to get 2 kills. Tati again doing some nice work here, and now they have 2 rifles to play with. Whether or not they want to save here, I doubt that's going to be happening, as they have a buy in the next round no matter what. The Molotov isn't going to achieve anything, and especially with 2 players that they know are tagged after seeing that many bullets spammed into their opponent. They must expect that this is possible, especially with Tati now finding a third kill of the round. The push is going to be coming in as Tati finds one more. She's on for the ace, and she's going to find it. What a round coming out from Tati. You can see the slight celebration with her movement, and she will completely dominate her opposition as she finds all 5 frags.
Wow. All right. That's how you can turn a game in your favor again after it seemed like EYESports could have gone off to a good start themselves. Tati going completely mental. 13-6 now in Reason Gaming's favor. And that's really the depth of the lineup showing up. It's not only Antika doing some work, it's everyone showing up. The first damage there with that aggressive push, even though they didn't get the kill there, the damage was key.
And it baited in so that Tati could get a flank on 2 players while they were trying to deal with it. So very nice from them. Bloody Elf going to go for the peak, and Antika at the same time finding frags. This is looking like the end maybe nigh, as Reason Gaming are absolutely dominating this round. Easy frags in the end. Antika stepping up with that AWP, and it's left down to Candy. Not having a good game once again. I don't think Cobble is her map, and maybe they have to either practice this map or rethink about whether they should play it, because if your star player isn't very good at a map, yes, it may be an idea that you like the map, the rest of you, but ultimately if your stars can't play, you don't go for it. It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah,
you gotta focus on the star shining as bright as possible so it can blind somebody looking at it. And if you put something in front of the star, it's not gonna shine at all, maybe. So EYESports with the backs against the wall. Reason Gaming 2 rounds away from taking us to Overpass, the 3rd map in the series. And remember, whoever's going to lose this game is out of the tournament. It's the loser bracket right now. It's the lower bracket. The winner will move on to battle against Team Heaven, who recently lost against Secret in a very, very close and thrilling series.
Yeah, of course. We saw a very good series yesterday. We will see whether or not it will be the same today. We are going to have that push coming in. They're going for that drop-down play once more. This time they are again splitting towards A, but one player holding down the 4 towards B. Riley going to be spraying away. She will find one over to the 5-7, but it's going to be Alien Party finding 2 frags back. It will be traded as DSH is taken down, but the 3 versus 3, 2 rifles picked up, and the bomb, which is in a horrible position again.
How? How did he manage to throw the bomb up?
They were up there, jumping down. So
yeah.
That time it's more plausible, but yeah, still not a nice factor for them.
Elf is playing whack-a-mole. They are whacking back, though. Party with the kill, her 2nd of the round. The Terrorists are still fighting for this one, rightfully so. They would have a chance to get back into the game if they win this one. Antika on the AWP. Now she has to defend the bomb from being picked up. And this is really a stalemate right now. Party is coming around. There goes Antika, and the 2nd goes down as well. She's stepping up. That's a star starting to shine again after her teammates took over for a few rounds. Antika is right back on it, and you can see the disappointment in the faces of EYESports. 15-6, 9 map points for a reason.
Well, and the deadly duo, Candy and Cindy, currently have 20 frags between them in 22 rounds. I think they had the same in about 8 of the previous map. So absolutely ridiculous stuff. Antika will start things off and get a 2nd there as we see the push coming in. And she actually manages to retreat back out again. So not a good start to the round. The spray from Riley does a hell of a lot of damage as well. I think we may be seeing the end of this map relatively soon. 4 and 2 HP. The nade will take down 1. And, well, this is all but over unless we can see one of the most impressive clutches I think I've ever witnessed.
Yeah, 4 HP, 4K. That would be quite fitting, though. So let's wait and see. I don't think it's going to happen.
With 4 bullets? Why not? Let's make it more ridiculous.
Oh, wow.
It's not going to happen either way.
Or with 4 HE grenades that she picks up. Nah, she gets 1 more kill, though. Decent try. It is Reason Gaming prolonging the series, taking us to the 3rd map, Overpass against EYESports. So it is, well, are we actually still surprised? I don't know. Maybe we kind of expected it already back in our heads.
I think that EYESports are just the opposite of Team Secret. Like Team Secret take a map to warm up, and they take a map to warm down. Because I don't know what it is. They play that first map, no matter what it is, they play it very, very well. And then the second map, it's like a completely different team. Obviously, both times we've seen Cobble, and I think either they need to regroup and redo their strats on that map, or just pick another map. Like, you get 2 bans. You didn't decide that one of them was Cobble. In fact, you even picked Cobble.
Yeah.
If you can't play that CT side, which is clear, then against both teams as well. It wasn't like yesterday they put up a really good fight on the CT side, and then today they were like, oh, we just couldn't do it. Both times they had a weak CT side. Candy wasn't able to find the picks. We didn't really see any support there. And, well, really all that can be said is let's go to Overpass. We'll see who has actually got the deeper map pool. But at the moment, although it was a weak first map from Reason, we do talk about the idea of momentum, and we've seen multiple times where the team who wins the second map has gone on to the third.
Indeed. So let's see if that's going to happen. Reason against EYESports in the lower bracket of the Female Stars Championship, brought to you by StarLadder. My name is Dabu, and this is Tom. We thank you for tuning in. Stick around for the deciding map.